Hey, what it do, sports world? Welcome to the Winner Circle podcast, man. I got to talk about the Lane Kiffin situation and why this right here could be the craziest all season in all of college football. As y'all know, Lane Kiffin pretty much, what's going on? Let's see. As y'all know, Lane Kiffin is up for the head coaching job for at LSU, and also he's up for the job from. Let's see. Go back. He's up for Lane Kiffin is up for two jobs right now. He's up for the LSU. I mean, he's up for the LSU job and the Florida job. I'm gonna tell y'all why I think why I think that Lane Kiffin should stay where he's at, which is Ole Miss. Hey, before we get started, man, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. And make sure y'all give me your feedback on what y'all think about this segment. So yeah, I'm sorry, man. If y'all can't see it I'm having technical issues over here on Facebook, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to screen it on Facebook. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Facebook. It keeps saying that I'm sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second, man. Let's see. All right, maybe this right here will fix it, man. It's over there on the other Facebook, man, the Bill Belichick. So if y'all want to watch it, go over there on Bill Belichick page. And we can go ahead and get but like, listen. So Lane Kiffin is up for two jobs right now, which is the LSU job and the Florida job. I'm gonna explain y'all why I think Lane Kiffin should stay put, stay where he's at. I don't think he should go to LSU. I don't think he should go to Florida. Okay. Why I feel like he should stay at Ole Miss, okay? Okay, when it comes to Lane Kiffin future, right? He got three major programs that's dominated the conversation, which is Ole Miss, where he's at now, LSU, and Florida. Now, each one of these situations come with crazy pressure and expectation, but none of the expectation is more than LSU. If I'm Lane Kiffin, I stay the hell away from that pressure cooker. I'm gonna tell you something. LSU is the pressure cooker, y'all. All right, LSU is a powerhouse, elite talent and elite expectations. But history has proved one thing when it comes to LSU. Coaches do not last long. Coaches just do not last long at LSU. I don't know why, but they just don't last. So why would I, as a coach, go to LSU? Why would I go to LSU as a head coach? I don't. That's right there why I think he should stay the hell away from LSU. Now, coaches, and I'm gonna tell you something. One thing about LSU is this: coaches need to win, and they need to win at a national championship level, and they need to be fast. Les Miles win a championship, they fired him. Ed Orgeron wins a championship. 2 years later, 2 years after winning the national championship, they fired him too. Brian Kelly was on the hot seat by year 3. That's who that former coach is. And if you go back and you think about it, if you go back and you look at it right now, when it comes down to Lane Kiffin, when it comes down to Brian Kelly, they got all type of mess going on right now with Brian Kelly and LSU. Right now, LSU and Brian Kelly, I don't know what the hell is going on. They don't even want to pay this man his guaranteed money that they pretty much promised him in his contract. LSU are trying to find ways to really get this man out of here with I think they called it when like they trying to fire him with cause, basically saying that he did something illegal in his contract, which you have to like gamble, you have to get like a charge or something for them to fire him. And Brian Kelly did none of those things. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell is LSU talking about. And they're pretty much sabotaging this man. They do not want this man to get another job. If you don't want him, why the hell you won't just let somebody else have him? Y'all didn't want him. Y'all fired him. So why are you pretty much not allowing this man to get another job somewhere else? I don't understand it. But that's LSU though. And also LSU, this jobs come with crazy pressure. Political boosters, which is the governor. Listen, that governor came out and said that he will be the one that the AD will not hire the next head coach. This is the governor that said this. What the hell do a governor need to be doing talking about football? Need to be doing talking about being X. Then they have zero patience. It's not the ideal situation for a coach who values control, stability, and building his roster through the portal and schemes. So that's what that tells you about LSU. LSU wants you to do everything that they tell you to do. You don't have no control over nothing. You pretty much just come to work and do your job. And you need to win, and you need to win fast. By week 1, you need to be already a top 2 teams. By week 2, you should be getting ready to win a national championship. That's the LSU unrealistic expectations. They have unrealistic expectations. It's the LSU Tigers. And that's why I say, Lane Kiffin, if you know what's best for you, you better stay the hell away from there, because it ain't no way that you're going to survive with the way you love to run things. That's not for you. Now let's talk about Florida. Florida is the rebuild that nobody wants. He do not really want to go here and rebuild this team. Florida is a brand name, but the program is in chaos right now. They don't have the same NIL resources as LSU or Ole Miss. The roster is down. Now, the one thing I can say that that Florida have is they have a quarterback, DJ Lagway. They have a quarterback, but he only got 1 more year left. So do you really want to tie yourself into a school that quarterback only got 1 year left before he goes on to the NFL? That's not enough. Okay, their schedule is brutal. Yes, they play in the brutal SEC. They're going to play against Alabama. They're going to play. Well, don't them play against Alabama. They play against Georgia. They play against Ole Miss. So they play against all the top teams in the SEC. Their boosters have unrealistic expectations. Yes, their boosters have unrealistic expectations. They are damn near, well, they not like LSU, but I guess it's kind of close. They feel like by the second year, you should be a national championship team. When y'all haven't given us any resources, y'all haven't given us any NIL to get players to come here. Basically, the players that go to Florida, they go there because that's what they want to wear. They want to wear the blue and orange. They don't go there because, hey, listen, we're going to pay you amount of money. No, they don't do that. So they have their boosters have unrealistic expectation. And any coach who takes Florida right now is signing off for a multi-year rebuild with SEC pressure, from day one. Let me repeat that again. Any coach who takes the Florida job right now is signing up for a multi-year rebuild with SEC pressure from day one, meaning that you need to be ready to win a national championship day one. That's unrealistic. Now, this right here brings us to Ole Miss. Ole Miss is the perfect situation for Lane Kiffin. And why do I say that? Ole Miss is already what he's built. Ole Miss is Lane Kiffin. They are national brand. Lane Kiffin has already turned them into a national brand, a portal powerhouse, an offensive destination for elite quarterbacks. So a lot of quarterbacks wants to come and play for Lane Kiffin because he's a quarterback-friendly offense. They love to put up big numbers. They love to score a lot of points. And now it's becoming a place for running backs, elusive running backs like Lacey. Lacey is one of the best running backs in the nation. Probably the second best. If I had to pick, I would say Jeremiah Love and Lacey are my 2 best running backs in the nation right now. So, and then it's a consistent 9 to 10 win program. Ole Miss is a 9-10 win program. Ole Miss is a place you can win 10 wins, and that's right there is considered a hell of a season. Think about if they make it to, well, just not if, they will. They'll make it to the playoff this year unless they just down the stretch. Now they will go to the college football. Just think about that. As an Ole Miss Rebel fan, would you have thought 6 years ago, 7 years ago, that this team right here would be in a national championship? They would be in the college football playoffs. Think about that. So he's already built a winning culture, and it's one of the best coaches in the SEC. Y'all ever went to Hemingway Stadium. Man, dude, that place, man, I see this place right here on Saturdays. I'm talking about this place right here is a hell of a stadium. It's a very good environment. Also, Stephen A. Smith, you said something the other day on the first take. I just want to say this right here to you. Unless you ever been to Ole Miss, maybe you should go down to the Oxford. Not a bad place. You go down there and you see how it is. Stop listening to what you hear everybody else saying, or thinking that it's still back in the old days. I mean, if you think about it, hell, well, I'm not going to jump into that, but hell, Ole Miss is a great place. It's a hell of a, this right here, these fans love their Ole Miss Rebels. And most important, this is the most important thing that you need as a head coach. They believe in him there. They believe in Lane Kiffin. The AD believe in him. He doing yoga with the AD. The players believe in you. The players love you. The community love Lane Kiffin and his family. That's what you need in college football. If you got that, you got everything. And the one thing that he got is this. He has full control, huge NIL backings, a stable job, and a roster designed for his system. That's what Lane Kiffin got at Ole Miss. That's something you will not get at neither one of those places. You won't get at Florida and you won't get at LSU. Ole Miss is in first place. Lane Kiffin has truly built something sustainable. Leaving now would mean walking away from the perfect system that you built. You built this, Lane Kiffin. You built Ole Miss. You got Ole Miss to where they are right now. Ole Miss is at 10. They have a 4 10-win seasons in his 5 years. And I think his one season, he had 9 wins. So you built Lane Kiffin. Why would you walk away from something that you built to go to LSU or to go to Florida? See, you can go to Ole Miss and get a statue. You ain't going to LSU and get no statue. That's just not the way it is. Because you think about it. In the next 3-4 years, if he ain't won a national championship, he's going to be on the hot seat. He's going to be getting ready to get fired. So I think Lane Kiffin and his family need to really sit down and think about this and really make a perfect decision, which is it's never a perfect decision, but staying at Ole Miss is the perfect situation. And and think about it. They're going to give you as much money as you want. They're going to give you, and if you look at LSU situation, now they said Lane Kiffin have a $90 million contract on the table now. They said he has $25 million in NIL backings. I think that's a lie. I don't think LSU is going to spend $25 million on their roster. And if you think about it, LSU really has been messing over their last 2 coaches, which were Ed Orgeron and Brian Kelly. They did not want to pay these dudes. And do you think that those players at LSU are the best players in the nation, are the best players that money can buy? It ain't no going to tell me the players that they got on that team is the best players that money could buy. And I think that even if Lane Kiffin stays at Ole Miss, first of all, you're going to get all the Mississippi recruits. You're getting all the Mississippi recruits. And he's really good in the portal. Like a lot of players love playing for Lane Kiffin. That's the one thing I can honestly say about Lane Kiffin that I be bashing Deion Sanders about, is because Deion Sanders don't want to recruit. He want to sit in his office and think that people are going to come to him and pretty much be like, yeah, I'm going to Deion. I'm going to go sit in Deion's office and he's going to persuade me to come to Colorado. Lane Kiffin goes on the road, recruit. This dude right here, did y'all hear one recruit say that Lane Kiffin came and drove him around like an Uber driver? Drove him around. That's how bad he wanted that recruit. See, that's the difference between a head coach that wants to win and a head coach that just want everybody to come to him and pretty much he ain't going to win nothing. See, and I hate to throw Deion in it, but that's the perfect example on recruiting and under recruiting. But Lane Kiffin, your perfect job is at Ole Miss. That's your perfect job. And also Ole Miss, also Lane Kiffin, I'm going to say this right here before I get off. If you leave Ole Miss, honestly, it's messing. You're really going to mess over on the kids. That's who they're most important. I don't know if I can trust you. If I'm the kids, I don't know if I can trust you, because think about this, Ole Miss. Think about this, Ole Miss fans. Think about this, the watchers, the listeners, whoever. Next week is National Signing Day. Ole Miss is getting ready to play against Mississippi State for the Egg Bowl, the Egg Bowl this week. They play Mississippi State this week for the Egg Bowl. Okay, next week is National Signing Day. Okay, then you're getting ready for either the SEC championship, the college football playoffs. How are you gonna go? How are you gonna coach at two places? If he is gonna go to Ole Miss, I mean, if he's gonna go to LSU or Florida, that means he's gonna have to leave the players right now. Meaning by next week, he's gonna be in LSU or Florida. So you get these players, you bring these players in, and you promise these players that you're gonna be there for them, and you promise these players that y'all can win a national championship, and then you ended up leaving them the week before the SEC championship game. I just think that right there is just that's a very bad look for Lane Kiffin. That's a very bad look for any coach. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that Lane Kiffin want that type of heat. Now, and then also National Signing Day is next week. Then you got the NIL portal that's gonna open up in January, which is gonna be right around the college football playoff time. So how are you gonna coach? How are you gonna coach Ole Miss when you already taken another job? I can't see this right here working out. And do I think that Ole Miss have a chance without Lane Kiffin? I think that Ole Miss have zero chance without Lane Kiffin. They have zero chance at winning a national championship. With Lane Kiffin, it's about a 40. I think I get them about a 40% chance to win a national championship because I think that they have a good offense. I think that their defense is good enough. So I think that Lane Kiffin is in a very difficult situation right now. I think he's in a very difficult situation right now because, like I said, if they play this week on Saturday, Saturday against Mississippi State. Now, let's just say a scenario where Lane Kiffin says that he's leaving Ole Miss. How? Hey, listen, I never said, hey, dude, listen. This dude said, man, you're talking crazy. Enough Louisiana athletes are elite. Listen, LSU do have they have some amazing athletes. I never said that they wasn't athletes. But I said they not the best that money can buy. Listen to what I'm saying. They not the best athletes that money can buy. Like they ain't. Let's just go to Ohio State. Who's the best wide receiver in the nation? Is the best wide receiver in the nation at LSU? No. It's the best defensive player in the nation at LSU? No. Oh, that's what I'm telling you. It's not the best that money can buy. Like when I'm telling you. Like you see, that's the problem with listeners. They listen and they hear what they want to hear. Like I'm not like you say LSU over Florida and LSU over Ole Miss. I'm not going to LSU over neither one of those schools because LSU have unrealistic expectations. LSU think they're supposed to win the national championship every single year when that ain't they don't have the team to win a national championship every single year. They just don't have the team. So they don't have the quarterbacks. Yeah, they had Daniels and they had Barrow who came through the transfer portal, but they don't have the players to just win a national championship consistently. Like they just ain't gonna do it. I feel like if he stays at Ole Miss, his best chance to win a national championship is at Ole Miss over LSU and over Florida. Because he got his quarterback, and that's all you need to start your team is a quarterback. So he had his quarterback, he had his running back. Lacey is only a sophomore. He'll be back next season, and they have a slew of receivers coming back next year. Winston Watson. I don't know if y'all know who Winston Watson is. That's Sammy Watkins' nephew. He's there. They have the kid that came from Alabama. Odom, big 6'5" wide receiver. They got some hell of a receivers that's still gonna be there. Ole Miss is built to win right now over LSU. And it don't what you say, yeah, LSU, yeah, Louisiana have amazing athletes. Hell, Ole Miss got some Mississippi got some good athletes as well. I'm not saying I'm comparing them to two. I'm not saying that they have better athletes than LSU, but you got to think about it though. All the athletes ain't going to LSU. All the players, all the athletes in all athletes out of Louisiana ain't going to LSU. LSU, man, listen. LSU don't really have no good receivers this year. I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. It's a reason why they have lost 5 games already. You don't win 5 games with the best wide receivers in college. And I know you can say quarterback. Hell, your quarterback was trash when he was there. That's my year. He was trash as hell. So clearly something going wrong down there in Louisiana. Clearly. I'm just saying, like you trying to say like LSU is just the perfect situation. It ain't the perfect situation like you're making it out to be. It's that's not the perfect situation. Ole Miss is the perfect place for Lane Kiffin. The reason I say that Ole Miss, man, where I was at, man, he threw me all the way off. But thank you for watching, man. Nope. And you see what he's saying? We lost 5 games. We lost 5 games with a dumbass coach, Brian Kelly. Man, listen, man. Brian Kelly, was he the perfect coach? He wasn't. But at the end of the day, he was good enough for y'all to win. He was good enough for y'all to win. It ain't always the coach. Sometimes you got to blame the players. The offensive line is trash. The running backs can't get the running backs cannot get no creases. They cannot get no big yardage. So, and they really don't get no big plays from the wide receiver. The only player on LSU team that they actually that make big plays is their tight end, Green. That's the only player that really get that really be getting play. Yeah, Aaron Anderson, I like Anderson. He came from Alabama, but he's a good player. Yes, but the rest of those players, like, the scheme don't work. The scheme just don't work. And I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all gonna be bad again next season. Yeah. Ole Miss, I feel like if Lane Kiffin go, even if Lane Kiffin leave and go to LSU, I think they'll be really good next year. But do I think they're a national championship team? I don't think they're a national championship team, even with Lane Kiffin. I think if Lane Kiffin stays at Ole Miss, he have a better chance next season to win a national championship than he got with and that ain't the head coach. It's coaching. It's a coaching as a whole. Because y'all got an offensive coordinator, y'all got a defensive coordinator, y'all got an offensive line coach. So what's the problem? Because think about it, with the coach that they got now, have they look any better? If I'm not mistaken, they barely beat a team. Who was the Western Michigan? Who did they barely beat the other day? Did they beat 14-10? So clearly, it was this problem right here was bigger, way bigger than Brian Kelly. Well, I can tell you this right here. I bet you any kind of money he got a better chance at winning the Ole Miss this season than he got at winning the LSU this season. We know that right there for a fact because the LSU season is over with. And Ole Miss right now is getting ready to go to the Egg Bowl. And that's there right now. They're 10-1. They should be 11-1. And they should have a good position in the SEC. They should have a good position. I would say probably number 5 or 6. So that tells me that they'll probably have a home playoff game. So clearly somebody is doing something good down there in Mississippi. And for LSU to have all these perfect athletes, something is going wrong with it. And it ain't always the coaches. I think it's the players. But anyway, I will say this right here. Lane Kiffin, if you want control of a team, stay at Ole Miss. Do not go to LSU. Do not go to LSU. That's a place where coaches go to die. Because think about it. What coach has it? Okay, we got Les Miles. Les Miles won a national championship. And it's like when he wasn't winning championship, when he wasn't winning 11 games, he was on the hot seat. Then they brought in Ed Orgeron, who was on that coaching staff. What did he do? Win a national championship, 15-0. Next thing you know, a few years later, he was getting fired. Then they brought in old Brian Kelly. Man, this man was up under pressure from the time he walked into LSU. And I said this right here. Go back and look at the videos. I said this right here when Ole Miss, when Brian Kelly left Notre Dame. I said, man, this right here going to be one of the worst decisions that Brian Kelly ever make in his life was leaving Notre Dame, going to LSU. Man, listen, man. LSU have all the resources. But when your governor is telling the AD that he won't be making no decisions when it comes to hiring, who wants to deal with that? I don't give a damn how good your resources is. I don't give a damn how good your athletes are in Louisiana. Because think about it here. He can go right down there. He can go right down there in LSU, go right down there to Louisiana and steal some of those athletes, and they'll come to Ole Miss. So who wants to deal with that? Jerry Covington, man, I appreciate it, man. Jerry Covington 305. I appreciate the feedback though. No, I'm not from Mississippi. That's the thing. I'm not from Mississippi. The problem is I just understand sports. Like I know for a fact that he would be more successful at Ole Miss than he will at LSU because it's proven. Y'all still trying to compare coaches to Nick Saban. See, Nick Saban ain't coming back. You see what I'm saying? Nick Saban came in this first year. See, think about it. Think about it. We're not thinking about Nick Saban, established Nick Saban. We're talking about Nick Saban. Let's just say Nick Saban's just starting off. Nick Saban's first year at Alabama, he ended up losing to UL Monroe. If that was at LSU, they wouldn't have had no patience. That dude would have been on the hot seat from that day forward. But you know what Alabama did? Alabama believed. They believed in Nick Saban. They knew that he would figure it out. See, the problem with Louisiana, and I said this right here at the beginning, is that their expectations is unrealistic. They want you to win a national championship the first day you walk in. In week 2, you should already be in the national championship. That's their problem. That's why they'll never keep a coach. It's a reason why no coaches are surviving there. And I'm telling you, I said the same thing about 4 years ago with Brian Kelly, and I'm gonna say it again. Lane Kiffin, if you take this job at LSU, that'll be one of the worst mistakes you ever make. Hey, best thing ever happened to Saban. The best thing that ever happened to Saban was going to Alabama. That was the best decision he ever made. Because guess what? He went down there with a bear at. Now his name is right there beside Paul Bear Bryant. That's the GOAT. And I know for a fact that Nick Saban would have won about 6 national championships at LSU. He would have definitely won 6 or 7 national championships at LSU if he stayed. But I'm happy that he did leave. Because first of all, I don't like LSU. I'm from Arkansas. I like the Razorbacks. So that's another reason why I don't want him to go to Ole Miss. Because I don't want him to go to LSU. Because first of all, I think that that'll be our best chance of beating him, to be real with you. Because I just don't think LSU is the perfect situation for Lane Kiffin. The perfect situation for Lane Kiffin is Ole Miss. I'm just saying, I ain't no hating, bro. There's no hating. What I'm saying is the truth. The perfect situation for Lane Kiffin is Ole Miss. Think about this right here, right? All right, I'm gonna say this right here, then I'm gonna end this podcast. If you have a team, they give you full resources, they give you complete control. Your AD believes in you. The city believes in you. You've already built this. This is what you built. This is your stuff right here. Ole Miss is Lane Kiffin. Then you got a team over here. They got good resources, but those resources come with a big price. They give you the perfect resource. LSU is actually the number 2. If y'all don't know, LSU is number 2 in resources. When it comes down to college football resources, LSU is number 2. They got all the resources that you can. They got all the resources that you can ask for. LSU do. But somebody is always going to be telling you what to do. Somebody's always going to be watching over your shoulders. Hey, somebody's always going to be watching over your shoulders. Somebody, and I feel like when I look at the perfect man, do I think LSU? If Lane Kiffin got the, if Lane Kiffin went to LSU, if he went to LSU and they gave him full control of this team, man, dude, LSU can be dangerous. Because what Lane Kiffin is going to bring is he's going to bring winning. Do I think he can be successful at LSU? I know he can be successful. But I think they got too many people that tells people what to do at LSU over Ole Miss. Ain't nobody telling them what to do at Ole Miss. He got full access. He got full access to everything. He can do whatever he want to do. He can pretty much, if Lane Kiffin keep doing what he's doing, I think Lane Kiffin got about 50 wins in his first 5 years. If Lane Kiffin keep on doing what he's doing for the next 10 years, man, they'll build a statue for Lane Kiffin down there at Ole Miss. I don't think he's gonna get a statue at Ole Miss. At LSU. That's my opinion. But yeah, bro, it's all love, bro. Hey man, I just want to thank you, man. Jerry Coverton 305. That's Florida, right? Yeah, man. I appreciate it, man. Coming on, giving the feedback, man. Hey, and you might be right. You might be 100% right. I know LSU do have Louisiana got some hell of athletes. I think LSU. Florida, those Texas, California, those are some of the best athletes in the world, man. Like, because them dudes just different. So you definitely are right. But hey, this is the last comment. Hey, he said, I think Lane should stay. Man, that's all I'm saying. I just feel like, man, you built something, and why not stay and see what you built, see it through. LSU, I just don't know, man. I don't know about LSU, man. It's like it's like I wanna be like, yeah, I think that LSU will be the perfect place for him. But then I'm also thinking about, look at what they did to Les Miles. Look what they did to Ed Orgeron. Look what they did to Brian Kelly. I just don't know if they're gonna get Lane Kiffin. I think Lane Kiffin will have to win just like how he went at Ole Miss. I don't think 10 wins will do it at LSU. I don't think 10 wins is gonna do it. I think you're gonna have to win national championships at LSU. See, he can win 10 wins at Ole Miss and be straight. See, that's how Brian Kelly was when he was at Notre Dame. Y'all remember when Brian Kelly was at Notre Dame? When Brian Kelly was at Notre Dame, think about it. Brian Kelly could win. How many games Brian Kelly could win? He'll win 10 games, 11 games, and he was straight. Nobody ever talked about this dude's job being on the line. Man, this dude come to LSU and he win 10 games. Man, they talking about like, listen, man, 10-2 ain't good enough. 9-3 ain't good enough. That's the difference in expectations. So that's what I'm thinking about when it comes to Lane Kiffin. I think that it's going to be the same thing with Brian Kelly. You go in here when you used to winning 10 games. 10 games it's perfect at Ole Miss. LSU, that's not the standard. But hey, man, thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Winner Circle podcast. Hey, man, y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Be safe out here. The weather is starting to change here. So, man, make sure y'all be thankful. Be thankful for something that, a lot of people is going this Thanksgiving season without a lot of things. So make sure y'all, just give thanks to the man for everything that you all got, man, as we get ready to go through the holidays. A lot of people go through a lot of battle a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression through this time of year because they missing their loved ones. So, hey, man, make sure y'all just continue to say prayers for those people. Amen. And thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs. Until next time, y'all have a happy Thanksgiving and be safe. Peace.